What's up, guys? Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles. Somebody let me know if you can hear me. Got a fun live tonight, and I'm so glad you guys are already here to join me. Let me see here. Luke, Uncle Luke is live. We got a couple channel announcements coming up. Nothing too big of a deal, but also have International Snick Snacks Poland Part 2 with Carlos. Got a bunch of questions to answer on here, and we've had some news in the last couple weeks. The first thing I like to get out of the way is we'll wait at least a minute or two to see if some more people show up, but I'll get right into some questions and answers. Let me see here. Questions and answers. I did have a few questions in the community post from Matt Shaw. Uncle Luke, love the content. Keep up the great work. Appreciate those kind words. Your upcoming big league family Hilton Hawaiian trip has inspired me to plan my own family trip in Turks and Caicos. More details to come. Matt Shaw. That's big league dad stuff, man. I'm happy to inspire it, and I can't wait to hear about it. And I hope everybody is planning a big league dad trip somewhere with the family. Sleepy Rod. What are your thoughts on Air Canada's Aeroplan going dynamic and the life miles devaluation? This one hurt. And I know someone, let me see here. We'll go ahead and put the devaluations in here. I know someone here. Oh, we got all kinds of guys in here now, boys. All right. I'm going to go back to this beginning here. Rodrigo Mendez said the Avianca life miles devaluation really was painful this time. Explain, because I got texted as soon as that news came out, and the first thing I did was, after I read the article, I went and actually looked at some of the bookings that I would do, and I did see that they added, was it 10,000 life miles on top of the current devaluation? So those numbers look a lot different now. I have the Life Miles credit card, and I have the subscription service to Life Miles, so those numbers look a little bit different for me because I get 10% discounted on that, and I still haven't figured out if that's a good deal to be a part of that or not. So pretty soon, I think I'm going to get evaluate that whole membership thing and see what I think about it. But when I went through the paces of looking at some bookings and stuff, everything that I booked still looked like a really good deal. There was even JFK to Switzerland on Air Swiss for 46,000 life miles. So I know it was a devaluation. I know some of those numbers are much bigger than they were before, but this is what I'm going to say about the life miles devaluation and devaluations just in general. Guys, when I was a kid, candy bars cost 35 cents. And I'm not as old as some of the people in this chat. Everything costs more now than it did 10 years ago. My wife was in Grand Cayman last week, and I had to take my boy to the grocery store, and my mind was blown. I hadn't actually been grocery shopping in about maybe 10 years, and mind blown at the price of everything in a grocery store. So when they do these devaluations and it costs another 10,000 life miles to fly business class in some of the top tier business classes to Europe, I don't worry too much about it, guys. I don't see it as all that big of a deal. And let me catch up with some of these comments. I'll get more to that. But I really don't get the sky is falling mentality. Everything is going to cost more. It turns out you're spending more because everything costs more. So are the miles really being devalued all that much? Jordan Rules for Credit is in the house. What's up? He's a young creator. Check out his channel if you have time. He's got some good stuff going on. Matt Clausen's in the house. Matt Clausen, we got a bunch of creators, and just because it's what I do, guys, if they are a creator and I know about them, I'm going to mention them, and I'm going to kind of recommend you checking them out just to see if that's your thing or not. Matt Clausen does a lot of newsy stuff, a lot of a very consistent creator, so check out his channel. My man, My Puerto Rican brother, Cesar Joel, is in the house, one of my favorites, and I can't even understand his channel. Got the Spanish-speaking channel, so if you do speak Spanish, 100% check him out. He is actually hosting the Creator Meetup in 2025 in San Juan, Puerto Rico, November, Veterans Day weekend. So if you are so inclined, come down to San Juan, old San Juan, and meet Cesar yourself. One of my favorite guys ever. Owen Cunningham's in the house. Vincent Pasquale. Juan Garcia is in the house. Longtime friend of the channel. Let me see. Juan just got approved for the Alaska mileage plan. That's the consumer card. Nice moves, man. Chad's Money Minutes. Chad is one of the looking slim. I'm slowly breaking down the weight, man. Slowly. Chad is one of the guys that I've been lucky to meet a few times now. He hosted 2024's Creator Meetup in my favorite domestic city, New Orleans, Louisiana. Definitely check out Chad's channel. His is actually quite a bit different than most folks. And I like how he does his business. He walks the walk for sure. Just got back from Pyramids of Giza and Doha and all that crazy stuff. Love that. Getting ready for the runway. Yeah, I'm going to do all that. I'm going to. No. Francis Yoon's in the house. The Bariatric Travelers. What's up? Nice to have you here tonight. Oh, yeah, Joshua NG. Yeah, Avianca has I'm going to have to do a video on it since I know some people might not know a lot about it. But here's a gist. They have levels of a subscription service. And for, I think, $30 a month, you get X number of life miles. I don't know if it's 1,000 or something. But you purchase miles once a month, $30 a month, and you can also change or cancel fee-free. No fees for cancels. And I've tested it, and it is easy to do. Avianca Life Miles, world-renowned for having terrible customer service and a really bad website. I have booked 2 or 3 big bookings, maybe 400,000 or 500,000 life miles worth of stuff in the last few months, and I've canceled. All of it was pretty easy. So all that negative stuff, in my opinion, is getting better. And we'll do a video on that because Phil Mo's in the house. What's up, Phil Mo? Philip Stuckey. Sorry if I can't. Some of this stuff's hard to read, guys, because the colors on my screen. He says the wife and he amassed a decent amount of Amex points. They booked an impromptu trip to the Cotswolds for spring break. Not familiar. Had some great redemptions with Virgin. Nice, man. Speaking of that, President's Day weekend is coming up, and Ohio is really, really bad weather-wise right now. Gray, dark, snowy. And listen to the 2 deals I saw. I haven't booked anything in the last few days, but you know what? I'll save that for what'd you book. I'll save that. Somebody remind me. An Alaska American Airlines deal. Crazy deal. I'll talk about that here in a minute. Joshua NG, 35 cents is a godsend. I don't know how much candy bars cost now because I'm not allowed to eat them. So, but when I was a kid, they were a pack of baseball cards, 35 cents. When I was really little, I remember it. Derek, Alaskan miles for Barnes & Noble gift cards is the best redemption. Hey, man, if that might be right, that might be true. If you're somebody learning to read, you get the gift of reading. That might be very true. Or if you're injured or you're laid up or you can't for some reason travel, Barnes & Nobles might be your thing, man. Owen Cunningham's talking about the Screaming Eagles. Hey, I have to say that before that game, I was not at all, and when I say not at all, interested in the Philadelphia Eagles. They were probably the least interesting team in the entire world for me. However, I did like watching that defense do its business and run its strategy, and that defense is fun to watch. I don't feel quite as disinterested in the Eagles anymore. Still not a fan, but that defense was fun to watch. Jennifer Moser, good evening from the Kimpton Grand Cayman. Thanks to me. Hey, guess what? My wife just got back from Grand Cayman. She didn't stay at the Kimpton. She stayed at the Holiday Inn Resort. But we will be at the Kimpton later this year. And I'm taking her daughter and my son So we'll have a whole, and I got 2 rooms at the Kimpton. So if anybody's got plans to go to the Kimpton in Grand Cayman, let us know. We'll hook up for a ridiculously expensive. What they have there? Margaritas. I think they had margaritas. What that really good though. Just means you need to get better at stacking them. Yep. Yeah. No matter what this game does, you have to evolve with it. 2 rooms booked so far, getting 2.1 cents per Hilton point. Now, see, listen, Matt Shaw, love to hear it. And just want to remind everybody, when everybody knocks the Hilton value of Hilton Honors points, that's the entire spectrum of Hilton properties. Most of us watching this and most of us in this game, you're not staying at most of those properties. Ask Cesar. Us Hilton loyalists, we're mostly getting a point, 1 cent per point for almost all of our Hilton redemptions. Most of that includes that 5th night free, but most of us Hilton people are not getting 0.5, 0.4 cents per point. It's much, much higher. And what you'll hear from other creators is if you cherry pick your redemptions, and wait, anytime you hear somebody say that, ask yourself, which one of you guys is not cherry picking your vacations? Which one of you guys is getting vacations assigned to them by somebody else? Last time I checked, every single place I went, I picked it and I cherry picked it. So yes, I'm only going to get the cherry picked value of Hilton Honors points because nobody's ever forced me to go travel anywhere on my dime. But yeah, Cesar as well. I know he agrees with me. And if you do have questions about that meetup, get with him. He's a super smart dude, especially for an Army guy. I don't know how he got along in the Army being that smart. John D'Amico says, good evening. What's up, John? Jordan Rules for Credit appreciates the shout out. No problem, man. John R is in the house. John R is the Iron Maiden guy, not to be confused with the Megadeth guy, but the Iron Maiden guy. John R, we are doing well. I just left parent teacher conferences. Super busy day, all day today. I got what's left of my haircut today too. So we've been busy. Oh boy. Matt Shaw says 6.6 cents per point via Alaska for AA flights out of Miami. Matt, you're killing it, dude. You are for sure killing it. Jennifer, who is, remember, in Grand Cayman, so lucky you. Jennifer says, also did 2 nights at the Indigo next door and rated a 10. Okay, my wife's going to be interested in that because she wanted to maybe try that out too. So that's interesting. The next door Indigo is a 10. So Jennifer, points not being an issue, which would you stay at? The Kimpton, the Sapphire, or the Indigo? I know the Indigo is brand new. Monday says go Birds. Yeah, celebrate it, man. Those Eagles, man. Even though I'm not a fan, they put out. They performed, man. And the best part about the Eagles is all the shine my man Cooper DeJean is getting. Songs about him, memes about him. Cooper DeJean played his butt off. The Grand Cayman Kimpton Fire Beach Bar is great. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. They have the what's it, Taco Tuesdays with the margaritas. Yeah, really good, really good. Ian's Big Birds fan. I knew when they beat the Bengals, they're the only team this year that beat up the Bengals. They beat the Bengals' butt. I knew when they beat the Bengals, who are basically world champs, that they would do really well. Joshua says, how's Ohio in mid-July? Might drop Mansfield for are you going to go what's the Mansfield festival called? Ink? Is it Ink Carceration? It's like a tattoo and heavy metal festival. A lot of people go to that. It would be super, super hot and humid in Ohio in July for sure. Jordan Rules for Credit. Go Bills. Which ones are the Bills? I don't remember. Are they the one with that quarterback that always loses at the end of the season? I think they are. Oh, Mr. Potato says they're a point hoarder. Any tips on making good last-minute trip redemptions? You got Mr. Potato. All right, let's everybody gather around. Mr. Potato is a points hoarder, and he wants tips on last-minute trip recommendations or redemptions. Mr. Potato, here's the deal. get out of your comfort zone. Have a bag. I wouldn't even pick a temperature so you know to pack shorts or long pants. Pick a temperature. Force yourself to book a trip for tomorrow, or go to the airport and book a trip. You might not want to hang out at the airport for a few hours, but force yourself to get outside your comfort zone and go somewhere you've never even researched before. That's what I would do. And burn those points, man. Edgar likes Megadeth and Iron Maiden. Yeah, I mean, if you like one, I think you like the other. John R. should replace Dave Mustaine. You don't have to hear him talk about Metallica. Oh, boy. They call him Dijon here. He's a legend already. Yeah, we watched him. We're Big Ten football with Ohio State, so we've been watching Cooper for a couple years, and we weren't surprised. We've seen him. Now I know everybody's seen it by now, but if you have time, look on YouTube and look at Cooper DeJean's high school basketball highlights. Oh God, that dude is insane. The highlights are the definition of athlete. Thank me later. Yeah, Josh is going to incarceration. Matt Shaw, when are you headed to CFI? I think August. I think it's the end of the summer. And I'm bringing a crew with me. Yeah, Ian says last minute almost makes it easier. Everything pops up. You have a lot of availability. And here's the best part when you book last minute. You don't have time to change it 5 times like I always do. Memphis Mike, 624, too much for City. Yeah, I think City's going to be important the last 6 months. All FICO's over 800. I think City, you're going to be need to focus on the last 6 months, not so much the last 2 years. Okay, Jennifer says hard choice. Excellent property, both of them. Okay, so gotcha. We may, we're going to visit them. I think my wife might have visited the other one, the new one, when she was down there. What credit card for Costco purchase would you recommend? I don't go to Costco. So from what I understand, tell me if I'm wrong, Costco only takes Visa, but they do have mobile payment. So a lot of people will say U.S. Bar, U.S. Bank, Altitude Reserve. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for you. I would use if it was me and I was at Costco, probably be the Capital One Venture X. Oh, Sean Thurston just hit us with a doozy. What's my opinion on the best use of 240,000 Capital One miles? If you put 240,000 Capital One miles in my account right now and said use them, I'm probably booking for 2 round trip business class tickets to Istanbul on Turkish in October. So while I can't tell you the best use of it, if you put those in my account and said spend them, that's what I'm spending them on right now. I'll go to Istanbul. I'll get one of those Turkish massages where that big fat naked guy beats on you and throws water on you and stuff, and live like a king. What's up, Dimitri? I always forget I can display the comments. Here we go. Costco card's the best. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. It's just a cashback card. AAA Visa card second best. Okay. Yeah, I mean, those are both going to get 3% cash back. So I'm going to value 2 Capital One miles higher than 3% cash back, but I think those are 2 good choices. Trow, you haven't missed anything yet. We're just getting into it, man. Oh, road trip in Wyndham. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I haven't been as big on road trips lately. I just haven't been. Gift cards. Yeah, okay. For Costco, using gift cards from Staples. I like your style. Let's get, okay. ATB uses the venture. Oops. Do you feel more comfortable going to Turkey now that Trump's the president? No, the president's not going to. No. I'm perfectly comfortable going to Turkey. when I canceled my Turkey trip, I wasn't as comfortable taking my 8-year-old and my wife. I'm not at all. I'm not at all worried about being in Turkey. Those dudes that got those Marines in headlocks, they were Marines. I was a sailor. Nobody's putting me in a headlock. None of those Turks are putting me in a headlock. Not going to happen. And I'm definitely not going to sit there in a headlock. If there's any Marines in here, I'd love to hear from you and ask how I served with a lot of Marines. I was on an amphib ship with 500 Marines on the ship. I want to ask somebody who's been in the Marines in the last few years, how does a group of Marines get punked out by a bunch of fat local dudes in Turkey? I would have never bet that could happen. And I almost don't believe it was real. It almost looks fake. But if we got any Marines in here, I'd like to hear your opinion. And I'm really sure if you're an older Marine, you're going to say there's no way it would have happened when you were there. Oh yeah, SoCal Skaters got I did a video on what would you do with 250,000 Capital One miles, and I think we flew. I want to say Emirates business class to Athens from Newark. I think it was round trip, so business and Emirates, nice. And we stayed at a couple no name hotels, like local hotels, with the travel portal. I think so. That was I'll try to It's a the series was called "What Can I Do with 250,000 Points," and it was in Capital One was one of them. So yeah, thanks SoCal Skater. Thanks for watching that one too. Tyler wants to know if any U.S. Amex cards are getting revamped, green and platinum. The business platinum is 100% getting revamped. I can't say 100%, but I would bet it's going to get revamped. And I've said it before, and this is why I think it is. You can't find the 35% points bonus for airlines anywhere except for the terms and conditions. They took it off the landing page. So as far as benefits, it's not even listed anymore. The last time they did that was with the business gold right before its refresh. And what sucks is I love that 35% points bonus. I just used it a couple days ago. We're going to watch me and the boy are going to watch Luka and LeBron take on the Nuggets next Saturday. And I booked our return trip with the Amex Business Platinum with that 35% boost. So it gives you 1.54 cents per point. But Tyler, I think the Business Platinum, the green, I don't know if the regular Platinum is good. Well, yeah, it probably will. And I'm not sure, because a lot of cards have been refreshed, and I think it's going to be some of the ones that I don't use, like maybe some of the really lower tier stuff that maybe they canceled or discontinued. Some of those might come back out. Yeah. Now, Ian, I'll go to Turkey and let one of them dudes try to put me in a headlock, see what happens to him. And no, I'm not some tough guy. I'm kind of kidding. Okay, so 280,000 Amex. I think I had an Amex video the same, but Amex, if I had to spend them right now, it's February. So okay, so maybe I booked something. Amex is a lot harder because there's so many different options. 280,000 Amex points. And this is just off the top of my head for stuff that I have not booked yet. I'm going to transfer them to Avianca Life Miles or Air Canada, and I'm going to fly from a larger airport like JFK or Chicago, and I'm going to fly to either Warsaw, Poland, or Vienna, Austria, and I'm going to stay at a Hilton at one of those places. Just off the top of my head, those are the next two on the docket for me on the list. So that's what I'm going to go with for Amex. Be nice to get a 15% boost on those Avianca transfers, but Ooh, this is a good question. M2K, my favorite beach destination. With the That's favorite beach destination ever or favorite beach destination right now? I'm going to say right now with the family, I think it's got to be Grand Cayman 7 Mile Beach. It's expensive, but it's pretty easy to get to and pretty quick to get home. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Grand Cayman. I can't wait to go back to Puerto Rico because I haven't been there since I was in the Navy. I think I went there when I was 18 and 20, maybe. So I can't wait to go back and see that. But right now, I'm gonna say Grand Cayman. Yeah, and my wife seems to really like it, so that's a big plus. Charlie, give me about 10 minutes. Yep.
So 7:35.
Yes, 7:35, guys. We do International Snick Snacks with Carlos. Pay cash in a Marriott? Yes, I did. 2 nights though, and a special. Okay, yeah, I don't have any problem paying cash for a Marriott, especially since I got the Marriott Brilliant. I would only use Marriott points if it was a very good um, redemption. I would not use it at one of those lower redemptions. But I also buy points and I do pay cash for travel, so I'm not adverse to doing that. Yeah, Thelmo, losing that 35% is rough, man. I don't know what they're going to add to that to make it work. Oh, here's a good question. Monday. I've not been to Clearwater Beach. I think my wife has when she was a kid, and she always wants to go. Now, tell me if I'm wrong or not, but when I think of the Gulf Coast of Florida, I think of Old Milwaukee Light and NASCAR races or something. I don't see I like South Florida. I like the Latin food, the Latin music, the South Beach kind of vibe. I don't party, but that's how I see South Florida. The Gulf Coast of Florida, I see more like big fat dudes in straw hats and NASCAR tank tops getting too drunk. So somebody prove me wrong. And I'll go visit Clearwater Beach. Community where we should go for a week, have 3-night rewards. Oh, where should you go for a week with Hilton? Yeah, I don't know, man. I've used almost all my free night certificates at the Conrad Fort Lauderdale. I've used 7 or 8 free night certificates there. So we still love that property. I still love taking my stepkids and my boy there because just the way the property is, the South Florida vibe, the beach is nice, but the restaurants are really good. Yeah, I like Conrad Fort Lauderdale. And I've said it a million times, but don't expect to get a upgrade there. City the best setup for travel has saved me. Yeah, man. I think Tio Rico, City is underrated, dude. City is underrated, and the only problem I have with not a problem. The only issue with City is it's much more difficult to really rack up the bonuses. With American Express, as much as a pain in the butt they are, you can constantly get bonuses and no lifetime language bonuses. Marriott points are also a pain. Here's the thing, though, Matt. Marriott points are a pain, but when you look at St. Regis, you look at Ritz-Carlton, and even JW Marriott's, if you're looking at that top tier and you're looking at 5 nights to get that 5th night free, you can get a 1.5 or 1.5 cents per point on some of those big redemptions. And to me, I think how the strategy goes with Marriott for us somewhat normal people is you do pay cash for the Fairfield Inns and the Courtyards, and you save those points up for an aspirational couples trip that most of us could never afford. Just what I think. That's what I think. Are 5% cards better than points cards? Ooh, Edgar's got a question. Don't need to worry about transfer partners and buying points on sale. You'll be at 3x categories every time. I love 5% cashback cards, dude. I love them. Do I run them all the time? No, I don't run them. I run them maybe 20%, maybe less than that. But it's because I like the points and miles game a lot. But no one's doing bad on 5% cashback cards. And I also think I did a video on just running 5% cashback cards and then purchasing the miles when it makes sense. And if you actually do the math on that, you can do really, really well on 5% cashback cards and then just purchasing miles when it makes sense. Love it. Joe Barretto would know something about using Amex points. If you say so. Is Joe in here yet? Joe's the one who had like 1 million Amex points just sitting there and didn't use them. I got on him about that. You'll never see me with 1 million or 2 million, points and just sitting there without a plan. No way. all the Chase Inc. with preferred. I have CF. Do I get the CSR or the Venture X? Man, I love the CSR, but if you're going to be a primary Chase user, get the CSR. If you're going to get other ecosystems and bonus hunt and stuff like that, then you might not be able to focus enough on the CSR to get top value. But I also think the Venture X pairs very well with Chase cards. If you make the Capital One secondary to Chase, and I think both those cards live with each other. I think they can cohabitate together. I have both of them right now, and I think those two cards. First off, the Venture X is, I don't care what terminology you use, but it's net annual fee neutral. I don't consider it having an annual fee because it's too easy for me to use. That's me. So I would keep the Venture X with anything else, but I think it pairs really well with the Chase system. And if you pair the Chase CSR with mostly Chase cards with the Venture X, you got a pretty powerful lounge network, I think. Jose got the business platinum, took the upgrade from gold. Nice. Okay, yeah, because the business platinum spend is way too high. Uncle Luke, your other Uncle Luke. Did you guys ever know you'd have two Uncle Lukes? Por favor, click no. Okay, yeah, hit the like button. Guys, we got 22 people in here. Let's hit the like button. 122 people is a lot of, I appreciate one of you guys being here. Southx got the 260,000 UR points. Let's get some plans for him, man, for sure. Oh yeah, Ian says Philly spring training down. I bet. I went to spring training one time when I was maybe 15 years old. The guy I grew up with, his older brother, played in the Astros system. This is early 90s. Yeah, early 90s or maybe even late 80s. I'm talking about Jeff Bagwell, Luis Gonzalez, Biggio, all those guys on the Astros. And his brother played for, I want to say it was the AA Astros at the time, but here's how long ago it was. The Florida Marlins only had a minor league team. They didn't have a major league team yet. So the year before the Florida Marlins were created, we went down to spring training. And since his brother was at spring training, we got to hang out with all the ball players. We got to hang out in the hotels with them. And we got to know some of them guys. And as 14, 15-year-olds, unreal. And I've kind of liked the Astros ever since then. Okay, here we go. Dirk Little was in the Army. Sounds like some less. But here's the thing. Marines don't have less physical jobs, right? Every Marine's a rifleman. And he's just trying to be nice. Thought they were indestructible until they got challenged. Man, okay, Dirk. What era? Are you GWAT era or what era? Because I know every old guy's going to say, no way, those guys would have got us. Even though they're full of it. Sarasota, all the time. Okay, not too many hillbillies. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, but I don't like a bunch of college kids. Jose Marzon, Florida man. All right, very cool. My man JP Knowledge is in the house. He thought about me when the Abby. Now, see the Avianca devaluation. We talked about it at the beginning of this. It sucks, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's the same thing as when you go and your favorite restaurant has just raised the price on Taco Tuesday. You're still getting them tacos, but it does suck. But I don't think that devaluation was bad enough for me to look elsewhere when I wouldn't have before. Most of your stuff you can do at Air Canada anyway. And I talked about, since I have the subscription service and the card, still good deals out there. And I also saw JFK to Zurich for 46,000 life miles. So on Air, Swiss Air. So there's still some great redemptions there. What do we got here? So Cal Skate, have you had any issues booking reservations for travel through the Capital One portal? Not shut. Now, I have not booked very much through the Capital One portal. And I'll tell you what I used to do. The first 2 years I had the Venture X, it was under the old rule set. And this is what I would do. I would book a hotel in Cincinnati for a Bengals game, and once that for $300, and once it charged it, I'd wait a few weeks, and then I would cancel that booking. The hotel would refund me my money, but so would Capital One. So I used to liquidate that credit. Not saying you can't do it anymore. You can't do that. And I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but that's what I used to do. Come on in here, Carlos. So I have not booked a ton of stuff through the Capital One venture portal. He can't hit that. Say hello.
Hello.
What are you here for?
Snick Snacks.
Say it loud. Say it loud. Right here. Say, look here and say it loud.
International Snick Snacks.
Grab them. All right, guys, we're going to pause all this. I'm going to try to keep it where it is. We're going to talk about some international snick snacks from Poland. We started this a couple weeks ago, and we had some interesting stuff. Here, don't be distracting. Just stand there. Oh, yeah, there's some good stuff in here yet. All right, we're going to pick some out. We're going to try it, and then we're going to show you how to get your own box. Before I talk about it, trytreats.com, a subscription service. They will send you snick snacks once a month from a random country. If you go back through my lives, we have a bunch of these. We've got them through Thailand, Korea, and now Poland. And they give you a good amount of snick snacks. We're not going to taste these, so I just get these out. So these are coffee, hard candy coffee things, which are probably pretty good. A lot of different countries have those. We're not going to try them because we both go to bed at 9 o'clock. But the first one we're going to try is Princessa. And most of these don't really have English words on them. So if
those, like aren't those like the ones we already had?
We don't know. So if anybody has any familiarity with this, usually they'll put it down in the comments. But Carlos is going to try it first. Oh, a lot of wafer stuff in Poland, which I'm a fan of. Show them the inside there. So we're going to try this, Princessa. And Charlie will rate it 1 to 5.
4.
4?
I'll put this.
Sit down. So, chocolate, almondy flavor. Oh, they gave us another one. This says coconut. I'm sure that's good, but we're going to try something else. Want to try this one? You want to try that?
No.
This is AHA sesame snack. It looks like birdseed. AHA. So Carlos can. Oh, they're like
No little things.
Yeah. Show them there. Yeah. Looks like sesame or birdseed. Oh, that's good. Wow. That's really good. Oh man, that's 5 out of 5. What do you say, 4? Oh, that was really good.
Man, everything for today.
Okay, one more. You pick.
Me pick?
Okay, let's see what this. This says Gretzky. Gretzky. You know when it's in a Polish name though, like I could say anything. That could say like Barbara. They don't really follow the alphabet. I don't think.
Skibbity.
Skibbity. Okay, this is Gretzky. Greasky. It looks like it's chocolate. Here, you take. Oh boy, more wafer. So the Polish love their wafers, I think. These are good.
5.
These are really good.
5 out of 5.
Tasty.
I can't put anything out of my head.
Okay. All right, guys. Treats from around the world. Trytreats.com.
Link in the description.
There is a link in the description. This video is not sponsored, but if you use our link, you will be supporting Carlos's $5.29 college fund. We get a small commission for every box we sell, and he gets half of it, and the other half goes in his $5.29. It's a real small, and they're actually really good priced for that subscription service. You have anything you want to tell them? Random countries every time. It's a really good gift, I think, for birthdays and Christmas.
I think to tell them.
Okay.
Michael Jackson is good.
Yeah, he's on a big Michael Jackson kick right now, so he's dancing. And all right, thank you, sir. All right. You just said wafer. It's a wafer, right? I don't know what it's called. All right, what's it? Uh-oh, not talking smack on Marines, but like all branches, all sorts of jobs. Yeah, but the Marines are a little different, man. The Marines are they're all riflemen. They're all big tough guys. Okay, so you're a little bit different. I mean, all our eras are a little bit different. And I have mad respect for the GWAT era military, man. Unreal. And I think they are the greatest warfighters of any generation in the world that the world has ever seen. Just amazing what they've been able to do. And mad respect, man. Thank you for your service. They have another snack pack. I think it's called Crate Snakes. That sounds cool. What's up, Charles? Yeah, chocolate covered wafer. That's what it is. It's looks like somebody's on Team Chase. All right, I'm going to go back and see if I can get back to where we were. I want to touch on some more of these questions. Those were some really good snacks. Poland has some good Snick Snacks, guys. Absolutely. Thailand had some questionable stuff in there, but Korea actually had some good stuff too. I'm sorry, where I would pick. Oh, this is a good question, Mr. Potato. Sweet spots for an 85K. I don't have mine yet. I don't get one until next year, so I really haven't looked at it yet. The good thing about that is you can top it off with, I think, 15,000 Marriott points. So it's, basically I would call that a 100,000 K certificate. So I don't know yet. I'll be looking, and I'll be reporting that. Is that Don Cesar Joel, the big pink hotel? Now, if Cesar Joel had a hotel, probably they would call it the Big Pink Hotel. It's in St. Pete Beach, just south of Clearwater. I'm gonna check it out. That might be a good use of the Capital One $300 travel credit. Oh boy, Sean Thurston. We've done this one before, man. If you only have one credit card, what are you picking? And the benefits stay the same forever. If I can only have one, it's easy. It's not. I don't even have to think about it. It's the Capital One Venture X. Might not be the best card in the world, but if I can only have one, that one really checks a lot of boxes, man. Clearwater Beach is nice. Frenchie's on the beach. Okay. Just a bill flying Toronto to JFK to Asia. Suggestions on which airline to credit the miles to for business class. Yeah, I'm gonna have I don't have really the ability to answer that question because I don't really fly to Asia just yet because it takes too much time. I don't have that much time, and if I did, I don't think it would be from JFK or Toronto. I think for me, flying to Asia would be Seattle, Dallas, somewhere that side. So I don't think I would be flying from the East Coast because I'm in Ohio. Okay. Julius is using his Delta Stay credit for that's good. Yeah, any way you can use it, man. Just priced out JW Massey, St. Regis Bora Bora. Both are about 1 million points for 4 or 5 nights. That's a lot. I mean, that's tough. That's tough, but is that something I'll still do? Yeah. I can get 1 million Marriott points. I can get him. I'm going to update my mega redemption video, but I think right now I'll just put it out there. I'm at maybe 650,000 Hilton points right now. I bought some more, and I bought some more, and I got a bonus on the Aspire. So I don't have a problem racking up those points. I just have a problem keeping them. Chase Sapphire Lounge finally opening in Philly. Philly within next. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's good. So Philly will have the Centurion and the Sapphire Lounge, and it has a lot of international flights in Philly. So that's a pretty good thing. What are your favorite uses for the Venture X travel card? I've only used it once. I've had it for I've used it 3 different years, but the first 2 years I liquidated it for cash, and then this past year I used it at the what's it called? It's a something Brown hotel in Amsterdam. And we when we flew to Europe, we stayed the first couple nights in Amsterdam, and it was like a on the canal, like one of those in one of those buildings on the canal. So basically just a boutique hotel, non-chain, non-big name chain. And I thought it was a great use of it for sure. The hotel itself wasn't great, but the location was so fantastic, and it was definitely an experience because it was an older building where we kept the windows open, and it really small for 3 of us, so it was charming. We also had to walk up like 4 flights of stairs with our heavy ass bags, and I found out how way out of shape I was. So yeah, I use it for a non-chain hotel. It's got the U.S. bank ad saying that banking with them is like dating. Oof, no thanks. They say you start small and it grows just like your direct deposit. If your dates are growing, maybe take a step back and reevaluate. Or if that's your thing, do your thing. UR points, high, all inclusive, all day. Yeah. We funny story. Like yeah, I'll when I talk about the redemption I just saw, I'll talk about the all inclusives, which I like them in Mexico. Isaac Moorman, have you been considering those Hawaiian cards recently since they could be converted? I got a Hawaiian card from Bank of America before this all happened, and just basically got it for the bonus. I haven't thought about getting more just because I haven't. But yeah, I love Alaskan miles. Alaskan miles are unreal. If I wasn't on a different mission, I would just be trying to get 1 million Alaskan miles right now. Think about upgrading my gold to a platinum for 50K. Could cancel my Charles Schwab platinum. Think about just doing cashback cards since I mostly travel domestic. I don't know if that's tough. I love getting the 50K, and I love having a platinum card, and I also love having a platinum card with a cashback setup. But given that, having a platinum card with a cashback setup, I'd probably want to keep that Charles Schwab platinum card with a cashback setup. Sorry. And yes, I do like cashback setups for domestic travel, for sure. So I think you're on the right track. I don't know if I would do exactly what you're talking about, but I think it does make sense. Civic. Didn't know you were having a live today. Wanted to stop in and say what's up. All right, man. Left a comment about your opinion on luxury cards for families. I actually did a video on the best travel card for families, and in my evaluation, it came down to the Venture X, really based on the authorized user cards for free and kind of the ease of use from every one of your authorized users. So I think if you've got one for families, price, versatility, ease of use, it's the Venture X, man. And I hate to sound like a Venture X fanboy, but it just makes sense for almost everyone. I hardly even use mine. Still makes sense. Sometimes I use it a lot and it still makes sense. That's not true with my CSR. With my CSR, when I use it a lot, it's so great. When it takes a back seat and I'm focusing on other stuff, not very good. Chambe, what's up, man? Opinion on Alaska Airlines Visa card. Most airline cards get it for the bonus. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I've seen in the last however many months. We've got a lot of folks talking about Alaskan Airlines that have never even considered flying on Alaskan Airlines before. If you're one of those people who didn't use Alaska before, I would be very weary of automatically jumping on board of Alaska. If you didn't have it before, they didn't get better. You just realized what they had. So if you're a Delta guy or a United guy, I really wouldn't be interested in Alaska Airlines. If you're an American Airlines guy or a free agent and you're pretty versatile as far as travel goes, maybe start looking at Alaska Air. Alaska Air is great for American Airlines flights and the international stuff. But if you were never that guy before, I don't know if I would completely shift focus and try to get a bunch of those, especially if you're a Delta guy. If you're a Delta guy, there's a lot of other stuff to worry about. Okay, we'll be there in October. Tio Rico's a traveler, boys. Rodrigo says the life miles devaluation hurt because some domestic routes he'd book through are almost the price same in miles as booking with United directly. Okay, that's not great, but why not just book with United at that point? I'll tell you why. How are you going to get United points? Only one way, right? You're going to have to be a Chase guy. Now, let me ask you this. If you're a Chase guy, why are you having United points? Why aren't you just using the portal? United points are just, in my opinion, for most of us, something we're never going to have an abundance of. Life miles is still going to have transfer bonuses from almost every single issuer. So I still think there's a purpose and there's an option with life miles. And I still have seen really cheap, Avianca Life Miles United flights. I don't think those are completely going away. And Life Miles are really good for flights to Europe, flights to South America. Looks like someone's on Team Chase. Okay. Looks like it. Okay, we're getting back into the wafers. All right. I think I got through that. We got my main man, another badass sailor, Glenn Ardonia, my Filipino head of security when I go overseas. That's a big league traveler right there. And he's a Venture X guy. And when I mean big league traveler, this dude is, especially for how old he is, because he's old and crusty now, but he could rock an economy seat around the world, all around the world. We call him Dino. Dino's a big deal. If you see him on there, if you see him on here, pay homage to him, give him some respect. Say, what's up, Dino? Sky Club question. I love the Sky Clubs. If I pay for kids at one Sky Club, can they enter at the connecting and arriving airport? Or is it just, as far as I know, you're paying to get in to that lounge you're standing in front of? I don't think there's going to be any documentation that says, no, I can get in for the rest of the day. I don't think that's how that works. I could be wrong. I've never been asked that question before. But I will say this. In my experience, what do they call the border between the North and South of Mason-Dixon line? South of the Mason-Dixon line, they might not charge you to get a little kid in. From what I've experienced, north, they do. Minnesota, Detroit, they'll charge you for that little kid. But Atlanta and New Orleans might. Or, that's what in my experience. That's what I've seen. Down south, they're not likely to charge you as often. What do we have here? We got, where do we have it? Come on. Michael just hit us with a 5-spot, boys. He's new to the credit card game, just got the CSR and the Amex Green. What cards/ecosystem would you recommend for solo player? I almost always do solo vacations. That's a very interesting question because I think the biggest knock on American Express is they took away the guests that you could bring to lounges. So I think if you're solo all the time, that might be a case for American Express because with Chase, you're going to get that guest, but I don't know how much of a strength that is. I think it's going to be more, where are you going? And I'll say this, I don't think for a solo domestic economy traveler, you're ever going to beat the CSR. It's too versatile. It's too easy. It's too good. If you want to fly in the front of the plane, to different countries and you want a higher level of experience and you want to get into the most lounges, you're probably going to have to add that Amex Platinum card. And the Amex Platinum card might be tougher for a single man to justify all those credits. But I think and then you have the Capital One Venture X that works for everyone. So, Michael, you got the same problem we all have. You're talking to somebody who, right now, I hold the Business Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Venture X. I think that's, well, and a bunch of other higher end cards, but I hold all three of them right now. And I'm having a really hard time deciding which one to give up. So they are all three good for different reasons. It might take a lot of analysis and a lot of trial and error to figure out what works best for you. But my opinion, I don't think the CSR and the Amex Green Card, I don't think that's a good pair. I think they're both great cards, but I think there's a lot of overlap there. I think I would have done one or the other. And I think between those two, I think I'm picking the Chase Sapphire Reserve, especially if you're mainly a Chase guy. How much does it? Charles wants to know how much does it cost to buy Hilton points. Hilton, they're 1 cent per point. However, they will go on sale several times a year for half a penny per point. They'll word it in a different way, like they'll give you a 100% bonus. So you buy 100,000 Hilton points for $1,000, you'll get another 100,000, making them a half a penny each in the end. So right now they're having that sale, at least for me. Sometimes it's targeted, but if you don't have to wait long to get the half a cent per point sale. And personally, I buy the maximum allowed every year because I normally redeem those for a penny a point. So I normally double my money. Sean, Capital One points, I go to Asia with KLM through Europe or Air Canada over Pacific. Okay. I mean, I love KLM. I love Air Canada. I've never flown on Air Canada metal. But yeah, for me, I don't think it would make sense to go to Asia through Europe unless we're talking about like Middle East or something, which is technically Asia. But if we're talking about Vietnam, Japan, Korea, it'd be hard for me to go through Europe. But everybody's got a different setup. Oh, which one? Okay. Plan a family trip to Bahia Mita, Hyatt all inclusive in Puerto Vallarta. Okay. Yeah, I'm listening. The last Hyatt all inclusive we did was Dreams south of Cancun. But I'm gonna write that down. Bahia Mita. Okay, I'm gonna check that out for sure because we liked the Hyatt all inclusives. We really did. T. Sanderson, do you think any banks will make any cards to compete with the Wells Fargo Attune? That's a tough question, man. Because they made that card somewhat complicated. Maybe is that the right word for it? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because that's not a card for me. Maybe because it is so specific in those categories that you'd really have to be dialed in to maximize the value on that. And this is a lot of work. I don't know. That's a good question though. Capital One Lounge coming to JFK in mid-2025. That's awesome, man. JFK's a lounge, very good lounges, man. What's the Points has his YouTube channel. Check it out if you have time. Says, hey everyone. So question on Hyatt. I've been hearing that maybe their award room availability is more limited than other chains. Wondering why this isn't mentioned in hotel reviews. I can tell you why. Sorry. The biggest reason why some people will say award room availability is limited is because most people are only traveling as a couple. Hyatt, in my experience, as soon as you add that child or that third person, your availability goes a lot. Fortunately, though, they have suites. The properties that have suites, you can book those. So if anybody else has any other ideas about that, I'm really critical of Hyatt. And I think it's mostly because everybody loves them so much. But not only is there, I don't know if their award availability is limited, but the properties are limited. They keep adding these extra properties that aren't Hyatts to make it appear like there's more of them, and it's just not working for me. I don't think Chase Edit is bookable through United Club Infinity Card. I find it just yesterday. I didn't know that. That's interesting though. The Chase United Club card gives you access to the Chase Edit. That's really good news for some people. Considering the size of JFK, I'm surprised they're only considering. Yeah, well, that'd be nice if we had more than one Capital One lounge in an airport. We can dream. Any thoughts on the Founders card? Is it worth it? Okay, so you're asking my thoughts. I think it's a scam. I think it's 100% scammy. Is it worth it? No. Unless you're retired and you travel and do bargain stuff for a living full time, you're never going to get a ton of value out of that thing. I would no, it's not worth it. I think it's, I don't know what to call it. That's not too insulting. To me, it is not anything I'd ever be interested in. It's a membership card for people who really have too much money. They just want to be exclusive with some things. I didn't look super into it. I don't even like the way they market it because I signed up for some type of free trial or some kind of beginner's founder card thing. And as soon as I did it, I got inundated with emails every 10 minutes to buy it. So I don't like anything about it. And I don't want to cover it on my channel. So no, I don't like it. Catch Now, Jay. Did you catch the big game with the little one? Were you shocked? Yeah, you know what? We did the 3 generations. I had my old man come over, and Carlos did not want to watch the game at all. So there's some backstory here. Carlos absolutely hates the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Hates them. We're Bengals fans. So he doesn't like. So he said he was not going to watch 1 second of that game. Nothing about it. So me and my dad watched it. We had some pizza and had a bunch of food and all that. It took him about a quarter, and he started getting into it because the Chiefs were getting beat up. So we watched the first half. He liked it. He's a big Cooper DeJean fan now. So yeah, we had fun. Good game. Okay, JFK to Florida and to Mexico. Love Mexico, man. Usually fly Delta or JetBlue with the Venture X. I only have one personal card. That's why I was considering Capital One Duo. I'm a big fan of the Capital One Duo. Huge fan of Capital One Venture X and the Savor card. I think it just makes sense for so many people, and I think it makes sense even if it doesn't make sense. What do I mean by that? I think you could be the biggest hardcore Chase fan and have all the Chase cards. The only thing the Venture X and the Savor are going to do is just enhance, be a backup. Use them when you're overseas, because a lot of Chase cards have transaction fees. Looking thin, but I did change up the diet. I got way too heavy to begin with, and I started thinking I've only got 4 years till I retire, and I need to get back to a normal weight. So I've got some aspirational goals for weight, but I haven't lost a bunch of weight. I'm lifting weights less and moving around more. But thank you, appreciate it. I hope to lose quite a bit. I never used to be a big fat guy, so I'm kind of over it. I don't want to be a big fat guy anymore. Infant Club cannot be used to book with the edit, but you can book with renowned hotels and resorts. Okay, that makes sense. It's 24 hours now for the Sky Club. I think that's, I don't know if that's the case when you purchase a pass. It is at 24 hours. They consider 24. I don't know if they consider 24 hours, but they consider one itinerary, one visit for the number of visits you get per year. I don't think that is the same for when I purchase a pass to get in. I don't think if I purchase a pass in Atlanta for Carlos that he gets it again in Seattle the same day. I don't know if that's the case, but if anybody knows, let us know because we're all really curious. MR says Amex Green, Hilton, card choice, Delta card choice, great adaptable system to commit to Delta. Yeah, if you live in a Delta hub, I think you got great choices for earnings and cards for sure. And same with Hilton. I think Hilton, golly, I mean, think about a Hilton trifecta where you're doing the Aspire card for your Hilton stays and all the credits and crazy stuff that comes with it. You're using a Hilton Surpass card for a lot of your daily spend, and which people knock on this card. I don't think it's. I think they're fairly ignorant on how to use it. But the Hilton business card for your catch-all, 5X on Hilton for your catch-all, that's a trifecta that could keep you in hotels for the rest of your life, especially if you're a road tripper. 6X on gas, EV. I don't know if it's EV, but 6X on gas, 6X on groceries, 7X on dining with the Aspire, and 5X on everything else. Man, big league. Manuel's been flying Alaska for a year. Pre-pandemic, they had direct flight from Sacramento to Miami, or Maui, I'm sorry, with a companion pass. Great. That's awesome, man. Okay, Michael. Michael, stick around, man. All these guys in this chat, most of them, almost all of them are way smarter than me, and they'll have some good advice as well. Except for the Marines, which there's not, you notice there's no Marines in here. Guys, I'm allowed to talk about Marines because I do. After I got out of the Navy and in a civilian life, most of my veteran friends are Marines, and I served with a lot of Marines. So I reserve the right to make fun of them. Robert Padilla, I'm rebuilding and had the Amex Optima. That's an old card, right? Got approved for the green and the blue cash. Hopefully in time I'll be able to get higher tier cards. Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing. Amex seems to be forgiving if you swipe those jokers and you spend. I think you got a couple good ones, the blue cash and the green. I think you're gonna have to make a decision there whether you're gonna go with MR points or cash back, though. And the sooner you make that decision, the better you'll be in your overall setup. Whoops. I buy Hilton and IHG point. Yeah, me too. I buy the maximum of both of those. And it's just because I'm going to use them. And it also generally coincides with a sign-up bonus. Yeah, I've bought a lot of IHG and Hilton points in the last couple of months getting sign-up bonuses. Using the green card for work expenses and hopefully be able to get a decent card. Yeah, you will. They'll add up for sure. Whoops. Why does United Polaris religiously sell their business class tickets for Asia $250K one way from the West Coast or somebody? I don't know. I don't fly to Asia. I want to, but I don't, and I don't fly a lot of United. Oh, Ben Meyer wants more two-player content. Okay. I do my player two stuff a little bit different than everybody else. I keep my player two in very, very low annual fee setups that if let's say she gets super busy with something else, she doesn't have credits to worry about. She doesn't have to. She's only got one annual fee card, and that's the CSP. Everything else is no annual fee. She has the IHG Premier card as well. So 2 annual fee cards, but she does travel by herself. So that's she needs those cards. Okay, we'll get more player two or 2-player content. Gilberto, current Capital One setup, Venture X and Spark business, 2X cash. I'm a trucker and put all my business expense on the Spark. Okay, I like it. Which I can then transfer to the Venture X. Each fuel fills at least $500 twice a week. Yeah, man. Man, add in the saver. Add it in for your groceries and your dining and your entertainment. I think those three, and you're probably killing it. So I like that. I like the Capital One. Charles, if you buy Hilton points with your Hilton card, does it count as a Hilton specific purchase? No. And you get the 7 times? No. When you purchase, okay, I'll give you an exception. Almost all airlines and hotels points purchases will be through a third party company, and it'll code as other. Exception is Avianca Life Miles. For whatever reason, Avianca sells life miles. So when you purchase Avianca Life Miles, it codes as an airline purchase, which makes that Avianca Life Miles credit card. It has a lot of situations where that's really powerful, especially if you're purchasing life miles, which with the current devaluations, I don't know if it makes sense to purchase a lot of life miles, but I have purchased them in the past. Guys, we got 135 people in here. Slap that like button for me, please. We have a lot of people in here. We've had a really good live so far. I don't know how much of these we're not going to get through a lot of all these questions, but that's okay. Oh, I like this one. MR says, Hyatt is a gigantic waste of time. Their footprint's really sad. The only thing I would say, MR, is if you're in the Chase ecosystem, it doesn't hurt to check out Hyatt when you're doing your business, because you don't really have to transfer to Hyatt unless you want to. I do think Hyatt has suites, I think, are sometimes really good. And I think their lower end, I don't want to say lower end, their value or their economy places, for whatever reason, I found that like Hyatt places and Hyatt houses have a sofa bed or a chair bed that make it really convenient if you are taking that third person. So I think they have a purpose, but I don't think anybody, I don't think people, well, it's not for me. I really don't want to get into absolutes. Matt Clausen, who's our resident Wells Fargo expert, Attune's strengths are entertainment and Amazon. I doubt any cards will be made to compete with it until Beyond maybe supercharges it. But Attune is super niche. Yeah, I think the Amazon, there's a couple good Amazon alternatives, but I think the Wells Attune is, being that it's transferable currencies, that's pretty tough to beat. Times 4 Wells points, in my opinion, are much more valuable than 5% cash back. Uh-oh. Do you think we'll ever see the Chase to BA transfer bonus from February 8th? I don't know what you mean by that. Was it from February 8th? I'm not sure what that was. So I don't know. If you want to clarify, I'll give you an opinion, but I don't. Founders Card is essentially an AARP membership for hit people that love to waste money. What is it, like $700? Yeah. I don't cover it. So thanks, Luke. Mostly domestic traveler, but next year starting a goal of 1 European trip per year. I'm relieved to know that I'm on the right track. Yeah, Michael, if you're 90%, like Chase CSR, in my opinion, is the holy grail for domestic economy. I say that because it can also do international business class. But if your travel is not focused on first or business class and it's not focused on international, that CSR it gets a lot of heat, it gets a lot of trash talk, but I think it's pretty awesome. Thomas Hapiak, I did not receive the Capital One Venture X survey. I wish I would have. I did not receive it. I'll be looking for it. That's very interesting. Michael wanted the platinum. Wanted to collect each bonus along the way. Received 2 mailers. Okay, yeah, that's great. I would if you want to focus on American Express points, you're doing the right thing. Green, gold, platinum for sure. I wouldn't skip any of those bonuses. Thoughts on Capital One Entertainment? I have a Venture X, but I'm only pre-approved for the no sub saver. I don't really use it, the Capital One Entertainment, but I definitely think it's got some good the baseball games are really good. I don't go to them. So I really can't answer that question because I don't really use it, but I know there are some really good value there. And my other thing is only pre-approved for the no sub saver. I see that in two ways. There's only been 2 cards I would recommend with no bonus, and the Savor is not one of those. But I hear this all the time where people say, well, I'm not pre-approved for this. I'm not pre-approved for that. Have some minerals, man. Apply for that joker. Just because you're not pre-approved for it doesn't mean you're not going to get approved for it. Risk it for the biscuit. If you want the Savor, apply for that joker. Just because everybody, and I saw people go for years, I can't get the Venture X because they won't pre-approve me. Hey, how about you apply for it? I did, and I got it. Okay. Don't just go with the pre-approval tool. I know it's a great tool, but like I said, risk it for the biscuit. Oh, wow, Thomas, they want to add hotel status. That would be awesome. Now, I don't want to pay more for any kind of hotel status with the Venture X, so we're getting into some interesting changes here. I do have faith, unlike every other creator in the whole space that constantly brings up devaluations with the Venture X. It's always been net annual fee neutral. I don't think that they're going to chip away until it's not worth anything. No other premium travel card offers those insurances, offers lounge access, offers no annual fee, basically, and is your catch-all card. And nothing's ever changed with that. They could take away this and that. Everybody blamed Capital One. They lost the restaurants. Guys, Priority Pass couldn't keep the restaurants on any other memberships. It's not Capital One's fault. There are a couple different ones that still have it, but those are really small segments of the credit card population. Priority Pass lost the restaurants. What's the point says, Hyatt, I think in general, they often have more value than other chains in the low mid-range. Easier to find availability than at the top. Is buying Hilton IHG points the workaround? I love buying IHG and Hilton points. Hyatt, I think you're right. They do have value, but you'll never change the fact that there just aren't that many Hyatt houses. There aren't that many Hyatt places. And when you go and do those things where you would stay at a Hyatt place, like you go to a ball game, they're usually farther away than 5 or 6 Hiltons and Marriotts. They always seem to be. Take South Florida, for example. For years, there was only one Hyatt option on the beach in Miami, and that was what do they call it? The Diplomat, maybe. I don't remember what it was called, but it was only one Hyatt option, and it was an older hotel. And then you look at your competitors, Marriott and Hilton, there's 5, 6, 7 options. So just one more knock on Hyatt. What's your opinion on the Built moves or the moves Built doing? Here, David, man, I don't really cover Built. And I'd like to just leave that a topic for another day, but I don't cover it very much. I don't think it's going to be a great option in the future. I think you saw an attempt to really rope in a huge consumer base because it's the only credit card that you can make points on rent besides every other credit card. And I think the plan was to get that core group of people that are making so much points on rent that they could start monetizing that audience, so to speak. And I think you're seeing the monetization, and it doesn't look great to me. I don't have a Built card. I've never applied for it. I think it's really important for people that rent property in high cost of living areas, and it's not exactly for anyone else. I think when you start talking about issuers chipping away benefits, you'll see that primary rental car insurance go away. You'll see maybe something else go away, or the primary rental car insurance will move over to the higher annual fee Built cards. I'm not bullish on Built. I never have been. So I also think no one seems to even consider the fact that their issuer is losing too much money on Built. And everybody says, well, maybe they'll go somewhere else. Who's going to want Built if that's the deals they're negotiating? I don't know. People will blame Wells for that, but Wells is like the 3rd or 4th or 2nd largest bank in America, and they can't make money on this thing. So I'm not bullish on Built. I don't cover it. Very rarely do I cover it. I just don't feel good about the entire program. I think it's hokey. You do puzzles and trivia questions for points. It's never a big fan. I don't rent, so that's that too. But I do know a lot of points and miles people. They use credit cards to pay their $3,000 rent to make bonuses, which are probably better than what the 1 point per dollar with the built with no bonus can give you. Sorry for the little mini rant. Let me get back down here. Tio Rico hit us with a 10-piece. Thanks for staying late, Luke. I was wondering when somebody was going to say that. I'm usually an hour guy, but we're putting in some work today. I've been tired all day, and you guys kind of energized me, so I'm gonna put in about 10 more minutes. So I'm gonna try to get through as much of this as I can, and then I'm gonna get some water because talking like this makes my throat dry, and I'm gonna eat some of these Snick Snacks. So I'm gonna try to get through as many of these as I can. Where'd I go? Okay, Whad'ya survey built. Okay. Clean up the diet, get rid of the bread and pasta, walk 10,000 steps a day. That's what Salfex, man, nobody knows what your name is, man. Salfex, Sal. The pounds will drop off. Yeah, I'm way heavier than I have been naturally for a long time, so I don't need to make a bunch of changes to move closer to a normal weight. My problem is I still want to bench press 400 pounds. I want to squat 600 pounds. And I want to deadlift something. I don't know what, but I still want to be strong. I mean, it's really hard to give up that hour in the weight room 5 days a week that I've been doing most of my life. You can purchase a priority pass. It's probably not ever going to be a good idea. It's almost always going to be cheaper to have a credit card that has it. I can't remember how much it is, but it's very expensive. You can also purchase a priority pass that allows you to have the ability to pay your way in the lounges, which is not a great option, I don't think. Ben Meyer got approved for the Chase Biz Preferred. I like your style, Ben. I love that card. Had to call Recon and have the Biz Unlimited. Gave me a 3rd degree for my 7,000 limit with 500,000 income. Yeah, they have tightened recently, and that's cyclical. So. I don't. Alpha Taylor, I think, might be talking about Hilton, and I could not disagree with you more. I've never, ever gotten 0.3 cents per point with Hilton Honors points. And I think if anybody's doing that, if anybody's getting 0.3 cents per point with Hilton Honors, you're not doing it right. And then he says lies. I don't know if that's probably directed at me. Yeah, I mean, I've been called a liar once or twice. It's really funny because I'm really critical with what some creators say that I know is just not true. I don't think they're lying. I think they're just not as knowledgeable or mistaken. But I'm not lying, Alpha Taylor. And I'm not even sure if you're talking to me, but we'll drop that. Calling somebody a liar in general, from my perspective, is a little more serious than probably what you think. Eric, thinking to get my first personal Hilton card soon. Should I wait for a better welcome bonus? Oh, that's a cut tough. Number one answer I would always say is I never wait. I never wait. However, if you don't have a use case right now, we all know better offers are coming. So in this case, this specific case, I think it might be a good idea to wait for one of those special offers or those historically high offers. So yeah, I think I would wait, but not usually. Okay, Dirk Little says he thinks the Delta Sky Club pass does last 24 hours and continues on your next layover. Okay, that's awesome. If that's true, that's great. If that's true, it's almost a good price. If you have a couple of different layovers, especially if you have a long one. Mattress Run Marriott, Titanium Elite within reach. You'd have to give me the details, but most of the time, no. Most of the time, I don't want to use my resources to Mattress Run unless I have a lot of resources, man. And I don't, because I have such a big family and so many people I want to take with me. I have to really focus on on that. If you could do first class on one of the legs, do you do it on the way to or the way back? Ooh, I've done both. And here's two different scenarios. This summer, I'm flying first class to Grand Cayman and economy on the way back. Don't think I would choose to do it that way, but that's just how it worked out. I couldn't find first class. So I think that's fine. You get a really cool experience there on the way there. I'm taking my stepdaughter who's never been out of the country. So I think for her, she's never been in first class either. So I think for her, that excitement of going to the place we've already hyped up. She's going on her first overseas, over the ocean flight, first class. Once she gets to this resort, her socks are going to get knocked off. I think that's good. And on the way back, they're just tired. They're just ready to get back. But flip the script a little bit and say Luke is going to let's go to Warsaw, Poland. Go to Krakow, Poland. I really need that lie flat seat on the way there because I have to get some kind of sleep. But on the way back, I'm not going to sleep. So I don't think I would mind as much sitting in premium economy. So I think it depends. Now I will say this on I just went to Lima last month and I was ready to come home and I was tired. So I'm really glad I booked both of those sides in first class. Really glad. I would not have wanted to sit in economy because my body was sore and torn up from moving around too much. Oh, Optimus now a recovery product. Okay, that makes sense. Alpha Taylor off to Cancun, Okinawa, Japan again this year. Nice, man. I like your style. Those are two great destinations. Thoughts on the Fairwinds signature card? I just saw someone make a video on it. I don't remember who it was, but the card looked really, really interesting. And thanks for reminding me because I think I'm going to do some more research tomorrow on it. It looks very interesting, and I love credit unions and credit union cards. Michael Vicente loves the channel. Guys, slap that like button. We're almost done. We got 139 folks in the house tonight. Slap that like button and show us you're here. I'm not going to get through all these. Okay, so I'm going to try to pick out, and if I don't get through them, guys, I'm sorry, but Michael Vicente. Transferring Hilton 2-1 on Amex valuable, in my opinion. I don't want to do it. I will do it, but I would much rather do it when there's a bonus. So I know that's not a very good answer. I don't like it, but I think it's okay to do in some situations. Like I need 4 million Hilton honors points. So eventually I'm going to have to do that. Cancel the choice. Yeah, I canceled the choice credit card. I thought it was a good card to keep with that 30K points every year. I should have kept it, I think. But they gave me that 30,000 points anyway, and then I canceled it. So yeah, I think it's worth keeping. I canceled it because I was in that mode of trimming down. Jonathan Martinez, Uncle Luke, love your lives. Thank you, sir. Any other tips on how to use the Hilton Biz $60 credit other than gift cards? If depending on where you live, what I think might be a good idea is to try to see if you can find it. Try to see if you can find out if it's going to work at a Hilton restaurant or the restaurant, the DoubleTree, somewhere local. It might be, you might be able to use it like one of those Resi credits and just go to a nice Hilton and have dinner there. That's, I think, is the easiest because we all eat. And, that's off the top of my head. Besides Hilton stays, but I know that's not what we're talking about. I would try it at one of the restaurants. I think that's the easiest way I could think of. Or if you live close to any Hiltons, you maybe check out one of the gift shops. Maybe there's something there that makes sense for you to buy. Anything there is probably going to be overpriced, but you might still be able to get some value from that. Oh boy, that's a good question. Mark Shahad. What's your preferred system? Amex. You know what? I think they're all fantastic. I use all of those systems. He finds that having Chase and Amex almost wash each other out. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think some of these ecosystems, you have to really focus on them for them to make sense. Amex being my favorite ecosystem, but I have to really focus on Amex, the coupons, to make them really make sense. So Amex is my preferred system. If I could only have one, tough question, man. I use them all. I know I should only use one. And I think Chase is the simplest and probably the easiest for everyone to use, but I'm not the simplest and easiest user. So I like Amex. Ricky, baby. Ricky's travel hacking is fashionably late. What's up, Ricky? Favorite internet, my internet uncle. How are fun? What's up, man? We're almost wrapped up, man, but I really appreciate you stopping by. Oh, Dino says the Venture X rules. Filmo agrees, man. All right, we're gonna I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. If I didn't get to your stuff, I'm almost embarrassed to. Oh, the no Marines in the chat. Okay, all right, Alpha Taylor. So I'm glad I read that. Okay, buddy. Ian, I've had some ones that they made my wife really laugh, but I don't get a ton. I have gotten some. The best one I used to get was my first couple thousand subscribers. Almost every video would have some dude saying you should use your credit cards to buy more steroids, or just something really really stupid like that. But like most of them don't bother me. But I wish I don't know if I can remember enough to do a video on it, but maybe I'll start saving them and I'll start thinking that. Ricky's travel hacking, big league travel, just got back from the Azores. Nice move, man. Reminded why I don't like fly. Oh, I can't believe you flew economy. Keep an eye on Alaska. Seems an award space can rarely open up your flight from Grand Cayman. Okay, yeah. See, Ricky's big time. That's not really Luke. All right, guys. I am going to get off here. I appreciate everybody stopping by. It is my bedtime, close to it. I have a new video probably Saturday and Monday. I didn't even get to the channel updates, so we'll probably be pumping out some community posts. I got a couple different changes coming. One of them is going to be members only videos Sunday mornings. They're going to be 4, 5, 6 minutes long. No editing, just me talking about some things that I don't want to talk about in front of everyone. Maybe something a little more spicy, or maybe something not quite as nice. So they'll be kind of be behind a paywall. Memberships are in the description, or you can click the button. They're $2.99 a month. You can cancel them anytime. But I do plan on giving members only content every Sunday, and there will be some more members only getting early access to stuff. You're not going to miss anything if you don't want to be a member, and don't ever feel obligated to joining the membership. So if you want to support the channel, use my links in the description or consider becoming a member. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks for another live.